do the sound check.
Sound check. Baba Booey, Howard Stern's penis, Baba Booey.
All right, so I thought I'd do something new today. We would try to do a discussion, just kind of playing around with different media, because we got a podcast coming out. Go to thinkaboutitpodcast.com to subscribe, get information as soon as it gets released. We're launching on the 1st. But I thought I'd have Nas over here. We'd talk about online training because we have similar views, and I think it's kind of, I guess I don't know if we have different views.
I think we are similar. We understand it. We could just say that. We both kind of understand it to a certain extent.
Because I just kind of wonder, like, who buys online training? Because, I guess people who are trying to get in a bodybuilding show, maybe?
Online
or
training.
Physique show.
Well, the funny thing is I was just talking about online training with Sabrina the other day, and it's kind of like how her coach is, but she sees her coach, like, on a regular basis.
For check-ins, right?
For check-ins and things like, but then it's like, bodybuilding is a very 24-hour sport, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not one of those things that stops at 5 p.m. or, whatnot. So it's like, it's really hard to be coached by a person, I feel, when it comes to a sport like that. And especially when they're critiquing something that it's being critiqued by someone who has his own viewpoints.
Right.
So I think it's very odd. So if anything, it should be a measurement and a weight loss thing rather than you look great. You know what I mean?
Because she's actually, isn't he like observing like her body and taking a look at like how it looks? Well, can't you do that with pictures and stuff? Like, let's say I want to do a bodybuilding show. You want to
absolutely
do
you can do it.
You can just take pictures. I mean, I know isn't that what Lane Norton does online? Is he online coaching?
He does a lot of it. He does a lot of like coaching and dieting and things like that. Powerlifting. I believe he doesn't do his own powerlifting. He hires someone else to do his own powerlifting, which I think is a good thing because I think it's impossible to make your own programming because then you always think you're smarter than yourself or you're not as smart enough than you think you are. I think that's those are the biggest issues.
Coaching, because one of the comments I got, I commented on, you know who George Lehman is?
No.
George Lehman is that guy that can deadlift like 900 pounds. He's fucking huge, super strong. And he was talking, he has his own online coaching business, right? And he seems pretty legitimate. He's like a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. But I just kind of, I commented and someone commented on what I said. I basically said that I don't know how, I still can't get my head wrapped around online coaching. And then the guy said, well, I'm in Australia and we're really behind on like fitness. So it's kind of like I know like almost all the coaches. And this guy, I look at his picture. I forgot his name, but he looks pretty ripped, like he knows what he's doing. Mm-hmm. So I think online coaching is only for people who actually really know. They have to have like a pretty decent knowledge base. They have to be. Can't be complete novice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. That because if you get someone and you tell them, okay, what's your max bench at, and they have no clue what they're even talking about bench, or they have no clue how to achieve their max or how to perceive their max from what their original regimen is. It's really hard to teach someone to do something correctly because it's being a personal trainer, and I haven't been a personal trainer as long as you, not even close to as long as you. Trying to even tell people how to do things in front of them is pretty difficult. And let's put thousands of miles and let's talk through a very chat-based thing, almost more archaic than text messages, which is most likely, I'm assuming, is all emails and whatnot.
Right. I'm pretty sure people post videos and you do observations, but like what you said earlier before we started recording was like, I mean, how do you teach someone how to move?
Yeah, how do you? I don't understand that.
Like, I mean, you have to actually know how. But the thing that's funny too is like, oh, well, if you have good form, people say they throw like that. They loosely use that word. They go,
I hate using that word.
As long as you have good form, you'll be all right. And you know what? I mean, good form. What the heck?
What does it mean? What is it? Good form is like the whole clean eating movement. I was like, what does that mean?
It's like it's a good feeling of like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'll eat clean and I'll have good form. But then there's like so many little nuances.
There's so many. It's like there's no way to like. My best thing is like when someone does something good. Is that hurt? Good, you did a great job. It didn't hurt. Did you feel in your lower back? No, good.
And I think there's just like little small cueing you need to do. Like some people just need. I mean, obviously, the people that we train are typically under most conditions when you pay for live training is that they want to actually be in front. They want accountability, like for someone in front of you. Whereas, where online, it's really more for someone who's kind of already self-motivated. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't know how you could be a person you have to be pretty self-motivated to get online coaching because otherwise it's just a waste of money.
Yeah, otherwise it's just a bunch of numbers that you get in your email box every week or month or whatever, however it works out, You just get that because I kind of can understand it because I do like a hybrid with my training.
Yeah.
Because everyone has a Google Docs.
Oh, so what do you do with them? So what do you mean hybrid?
So it's I would say hybrid because I do train them at least once
a week.
Obviously once a week. Some of them I train 3 times a week. But online, they have their own separate Google Docs sheet. There is
like homework assignments.
What they did with me.
So you train them in person,
Mm-hmm.
and then you give them like a workout plan to do like homework, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then carry on.
Yeah, so they have their own homework. Also, on the homework, there's the notes, so they can leave the notes like, okay, this hurt. I didn't like this, or this was too hard.
This gave me problems,
or this gave
right?
me problems, or this was too easy. Most of the time, it's this was too easy, or or I couldn't do it. I didn't make it. I had to run errands, couldn't make it to the gym. And also, it says like sleep and calories. I always like to look at sleep and calories overall because I
do a lot of your clients have Fitbits or?
No.
Or you just
very, very few of them have it. Only about.
Are they pretty
2.
good about tracking their like sleep and everything?
No.
Oh.
No. They just guesstimate. They're like, I went to bed at 10. I woke
okay.
up at such and
I
such.
see.
But for the most part, it's just a very brief. It's kind of just to hold them kind of accountable if whether or not they perform well or not.
Yeah, I guess for me, like, because the type of client I train are people that are motivated, but I mean they're not motivated. They're not motivated. That's why they're training with me. They're smart. They're actually all of them are too smart. They're so smart that they won't do anything.
Yeah, they're smart enough to know that they shouldn't do anything.
They're too smart.
Too smart.
They're too smart. So then they don't want to. They want to pay somebody to make them work out. So I have to make good judgment for like what they can consistently do because they only have X amount of hours every single week to train. And under most circumstances, they almost only train with me. Not always, but sometimes they train on their own. I try to encourage them to work out on their own, but a lot of the time they just don't because a lot of these people are just, they want that babysitter sort of attention, focus, someone to help them challenge themselves when they're like training with me. Yeah. But when they're by themselves, it's more like they have because I train some business owners and it's kind of, or they have jobs that are really demanding and they just kind of need to work on things they don't want to work on. Like, for example, like training legs or working on core or working on flexibility, that kind of thing. Because they don't want to do that stuff.
No one wants to do that. Let's just say that.
And precision nutrition, they call it, what's it called? Like highly skilled, unmotivated.
Yeah. Highly unmotivated.
So I don't need to tell them about calories in, calories out. I don't need to tell them about anything really. They already are doing what they can, and it's like they don't necessarily want to cut a crap load of weight. They don't have like some burning goal, They
just know they need to be there.
Yeah, they need to get in shape. So I guess that's the perspective I'm coming from. So if you're watching, you're listening, that's just really what the issue is. That's kind of my perspective. It's just that I deal with people that need a lot more attention, and also just the way I train too. Is when I watch someone train, when I watch someone work out, there's so many little things I see with their ankles, with their knees, with their hips, with their back, and I see in different movements from lunges to single leg squats to just little cues. And some people move really bad, move good enough, but their mobility is bad in certain spots. So I know what areas to fix, or I know, okay, we need to try this. Okay, you're not doing this that well. Let's do this instead. And I can't really, training someone online, I can't imagine doing that.
Yeah,